yeah, so what we'll do is we'll kind of hop in together, and I'll take us a little bit of a journey, and we'll just do some channeling on that topic, that theme. So starting to open our space together. Welcoming in our guides, your guides, into our space. Higher self, highest purest essence, Oversoul Collective. Our councils. And per dimensional soul aspects. And we today. Okay. My sound. Let me swap. I don't know what's going on with the sound. Okay. Yeah, pertinent multidimensional soul aspects. Friends, helpers, taking a moment to set your intention for our session today. For our kind of astral adventures and the frequency of galactic gridding, calling forward that intention. For directions north, south, east, and west. Dragon frequency. The galactic children, our inner child as well too. Whenever you guys feel like you're ready, feel free to lower your gaze. I want to start to shift your awareness up and out from where you are at currently in your physical body, allowing the scene around you to shift. And let's meet up in the sun's radiance room, in that calibrated space, located within our central sun. Making your way there and starting to settle into your space there within the central sun, within the radiance room. Your space, maybe it's a pod or your room. Just a central gathering place for us to kind of co-weave and co-channel together. If you haven't already, you can always put on your spacesuit, the one that was gifted to you by your higher self or your highest self. Starting to just calibrate further. You can sing, sigh, hum, buzz. Whatever you need to do to calibrate. And as you're sitting in this space, I want you to get comfy within this sun's radiance room. And start to call in your dragons that you're working with as well too. see if you can imagine a color, an element, an elemental frequency for your dragon. Maybe you know their name. You can call them by name if they have a name. And we're going to take a little bit of a ride here. Obviously, if it feels most aligned, I want us to hop on our dragons. I've got several dragons. I'm just going to choose the one that's feeling most aligned out of my several dragons. And whenever you feel ready, I'm going to have you hop onto your dragon. Let your dragon from this sun's radiance room just fly up and out into the galaxy around us, in through the stars. Maybe you're seeing some colors fly by, some frequency. Maybe you're gripping tight onto your dragon or onto the saddle or seat. Or maybe you're not on your dragon at all, and that's okay as well too. Just allow your dragon to take you up and outwards, spiraling upwards in the densities or dimensions as well too. But if that doesn't feel aligned, just on a ride in our current galaxy, a ride through the cosmos, ripping through many different galaxies, star systems, rolling past the planets. We're going to start making our way towards what I'm going to describe as an etheric temple. This etheric temple is a time temple. And we're going to be moving towards the Orion star system. I'm just looking for essentially an etheric temple space. You can use your imagination, whatever it looks like for you. If you're not feeling aligned to the etheric temple frequency of Orion, feel free to weave with us in the field or from the sun's radiance room, or just ride around on your dragon as well. For those of us that are feeling aligned, have your dragon kind of drop you off at the etheric temple located in the star system of Orion. Maybe you land outside of the temple and kind of walk around the entrance area or the exterior and just see how this area feels to you, what you're sensing, feeling, hearing. And we're just going to kind of do some code channeling from this space together, weaving together. You don't have to be all the way down. We're just going to kind of co-weave, co-channel, see what's coming through. So if somebody is sensing something, feeling something, feel free to unmute and let us know what's coming through for you. I want us to kind of co-channel and co-weave on this adventure.
My son is making a ding dong sound like a doorbell. Ding dong. It just felt, yeah, big ding. I don't know. You have to answer the door.
I created golden timeline in Orion constellation too. I think it's mostly in the 3-star in the belt, Mintaka, and 2 other stars. I forgot the name.
Right, yes. That's good. Yeah, and if you have anything come through, feel free to let us know. It helps others calibrate to that frequency as well too. If you want to, you can make your way inside of the etheric temple, time temple. To me it feels, I'm just going to call it the etheric temple here. Not necessarily a time temple. Yeah, this doesn't have anything to, there is time involved, but I don't think it's important to kind of separate. I think we're just going to speak kind of broadly and generally. This area that we're in, the Orion, much like Aurora said, made up primarily of those 3. You can let your dragon fly around, have them come inside and hang out in the courtyard area of the temple. Just walk inside and find a space. I want us to kind of just like attune a bit to what's happening in this area, calling forward. So I'm getting quite a bit like warrior timelines, templates, not necessarily masculine, could be feminine too. Go ahead, Vincent. What you got, buddy?
Yeah, what came through for me is the story that of the Christ consciousness coming to Orion, the area like during the battles, and what they also have a Messiah kind of deal where a person was imbued with Christ consciousness in a small community who inspired people, and this happened many times, but like it, and the powers of the that were happening, they like squashed it out several times so that it didn't happen, because they had their seer.
Will you break up a little bit? Say it again. They squashed it many times because they had their seer what?
The Messiah came to them, obviously, in the form of a person who helped lead them into seeing the more pure potential of their like of who they could be, basically. And then like this person inspired the rest to embody their Christ consciousness through what they saw in this person, because that's what this person did, was uplift it. And like a little bit of like the order of Melchizedek, some of the masters who came through from Melchizedek are a part of that Orion upliftment, and they had been coaching and guiding and making like weaving their thoughts and the Christ consciousness basically into it. And like, I guess us bringing that with us also here at that time also helps them to like have their second wave of awakening like we are having right now. Like as the human consciousness, we're going to bring that with us as like part of our creation that we embody here. And like the dragons are helping us to infuse that, because they carry such a high Christ consciousness themselves, and beyond into multidimensionality. They're weaving that Christ consciousness, the crystalline consciousness, and solidifying like the peace and joy that comes with that. That we're going to help them kind of bring that, what we have, the template of the renewal, basically to this whole movement that like is galactic wide, but like also it needed to be here in Orion to help stop the like what we're seeing here on Earth, the leaders who are doing god awful atrocious things and thinking that they can get away with it. You know, it's like we're trying to bring the consciousness and then the light into like making their hierarchical system more visible, basically, and giving us a way to kind of set free the freedom of ourselves, basically. And that's what like that Messiah character brought, was that they're like, we don't have to be enslaved by things. We don't have to bow down to a person who is supposedly above us. We need to move on and keep making the moments that we have together be the moments that help us to release the pain that we've had within our chakras of being alone and in bondage, even though like some of the bondage we have created for our own selves. So that's kind of what I have coming through. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly like what you said. The Messiah is a group of soul. That's the Elohim, our soul group. That's all of us. So that's the 144,000 plus 144. So that's all of us. We did this in the Orion constellation. So we brought the unity conscious to the whole constellation, which I think is much harder than what we are doing now. So we already have done much difficult things. So now we just bring this finale to Earth, which is much easier and much happier. And so in the 2026, starting in 2026, something similar to Orion is going to happen on Earth, which is all the power structure, all the political, financial system is all going to break down. So that's basically what's going to happen in 2026. But we have done all of this. So we are supposed, we are all the masters that have done this in the Orion constellation.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Yeah, thank you both for bringing through those messages. Yeah, what I was getting kind of as I was listening was kind of the purpose of why we're here is like having some of that like galactic remembrance or some of that remembrance frequency come through, because we've had lifetimes in different star systems, and there's you know, councils that are able to assist us with this frequency of remembrance, so that we don't necessarily need to we can anchor like the higher dimensional frequencies, the golden timelines, or that remembrance frequency, just witness it ourselves from the previous timelines, and harmonize that. You know, even with ourselves, as we have this remembrance, there's lifetimes of like war, lifetimes of like monarchy lifetimes of like there's all types of like lower dimensional frequencies, I guess is a way to say it, that we've participated in, and in a way what's happening here on Earth, and we're playing out some of these stories, because a lot of the origins go back to kind of these galactic things like, the Orion War, and if you have some remembrances, or if you have some soul aspects that were present or are present or participated in that, it can definitely be, I think there's a lot of value in kind of witnessing that, witnessing and remembering and releasing, calling back all of those parts and pieces of us as well too, that may still be looping in some of these like timelines, and some of that remembrance that we're having in our bodies now. Go ahead, Vincent. Is from some of those feelings.
Yeah, absolutely. Just exactly what you're saying. Another thing that came through is like what we're witnessing with like viruses and things. That's like that kind of like that darkness. It's a thought form that has been generated, and it definitely comes through our lifetimes as like being part of the Orion or any kind of warring civilization that we actually, like through war, we create viruses into the mental construct of the collective consciousness that surrounds a planet, basically. And so that creates this like imperceptible thought form that penetrates into the smallest parts of us like a virus, and they can either be lit up by us and non-active, or they can cloud our vision by making our body overreact to symptoms that they create within us. So we're healing something about that, like that allowing another entity to create pain and suffering within us. Like that's also a loss of like sovereignty, and we need to allow that. Like we recognize that there are these beings, but they aren't in control of who we are, and we have the full capability of healing ourselves and even past lifetimes. Like conjunct lifetimes is like I'm kind of starting to understand that they are, and allowing that to just be like, okay, I recognize you, but you are not me, and I'm going to allow the systems that are within me to do their very best, because that's how I see them. I see them at their very best of what all creation is made to have. Is like it's made to be mothered and have nutrition and be provided for every need, and also be protected. When we allow that in, we get that mutual restraint of equilibrium, and that draws more of who we are into ourselves, basically. Yeah, that's kind of what I got that came through. Thank you again.
Yeah, I totally concur with what Vincent said. So the virus or the pain and suffer, they are all just a thought pattern that the dark force created for the people, for the people in the lower timelines. But at the same time, we are creators. We are also capable of creating thought form that can release all the pain and suffering, and created all the thought pattern of the unity conscious and put it in humanity's consciousness and just completely purify all the humanity's consciousness and uplifting everyone. And there is a healing technique that can heal your lineage. That is just you say a command that is something like I release everything that doesn't belong to me and return everything to its purest form, something like that.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for both of your shares. Thank you, Christina, as well too. Yeah, I agree with what everybody was saying. We have all of these, and that's kind of the reason that I wanted us to kind of be like, or at least observing, whether it's like astral, etheric, within the star system itself from this like etheric temple, because there's something about being kind of co-located when it comes to that remembrance frequency and experiencing that in our body. And sometimes that remembrance can be a bit uncomfortable because what Vincent was saying is like we're remembering past or previous or parallel or future timelines of ourselves where we're experiencing this kind of in the now moment. It can come through in the body, but also like some of that may be like timelines, loops, dimensions, spin-offs, essentially thought form patterns that are as a result of this. And one of the purposes that we can do today is while we're in this kind of etheric temple space, we can essentially call those into completion, call those forward into our awareness. Let's take some time to try and do that now and just kind of like grid and weave that together. And if you need just kind of a central space within the etheric temple, you can visualize that space. You can visualize like a healing pod or just an area to kind of like sit in and tap into, calling forward any flame that feels most aligned. The violet flame is coming through. There's like a pink opalescent white flame as well. Any guides or helpers too, pertinent soul aspects. Taking time here to weave into that frequency of remembrance, knowing that it is not ours, knowing that it is sometimes just a part or a piece or a frequency, and releasing any attachment to that frequency, to these war timelines, to the military-industrial complex, conquest, enslavement timelines as well. Witnessing anything that's coming forward in your body, mental or emotional, knowing that you are safe, that you are anchored. And sometimes this happens unconsciously too. Sometimes it's better to happen. Sometimes these things happen like in our subconscious. So you'll have, maybe you're listening and you're remembering some like strange dreams you experienced, where it's like the frequency of war. Maybe it's futuristic ships, things like that. Releasing any attachment to that, consciously setting our intention to call those into completion, Calling back any parts, pieces, soul fragments, any energy that's attached to these stories. And maybe this is more ancestral or more lineage related as well too. So taking some time here to just kind of call those forward, call them back. You can also say, if you want to just kind of follow along with me, you could say, with your intention, so getting into the body here, bringing yourself into your awareness into the heart. You can say, I now announce, pronounce, and declare by divine decree releasing these patterns, programs, attachments, stories, timelines, loops relating to the frequency of war, enslavement, military industrialization, monarchy, known or unknown. I now call back all parts of me, soul fragments, parts and pieces. It is done, it is done, it is done. Across all timelines, dimensions, realities, spaces, and the spaces in between. So it is. And checking in here too. Get your hand on your heart, or just intuitively see if there's anything else that needs to be witnessed, needs to come forward right now. Please let us know if something is coming forward that you want to be witnessed. I think there's power in the frequency of our community. Just state it out loud into the field. Same if you're watching this on replay, feel free to state it out loud. We're weaving with you as well. Yeah, did anybody else have anything that came forward in that space they want to chat about? Anything that's kind of loud while we're here? Okay. You think it's going to percolate for a little bit? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sometimes with these timelines, these heavier, denser frequencies, it can be a little bit, not as easy to kind of feel that I feel silence is very crucial right now. Yeah, it's not as easy to feel that. So just taking a minute here to kind of see if there's anything else that needs to come through for you. If you want to hop back on your dragon too and ride around a little bit and just see what comes through, that came through as well too. Kind of ride around the galaxy here. Also, if you're curious, and this is either for those live on the call or listening to the playback, when we are here in the Orion star system, if you're curious if you have a soul aspect that's here as well too, feel free to take some time while you're in this etheric temple space and call them forward into the field to be witnessed, to make themselves known to you. Maybe this is step one, or maybe this is the final step for you, where you're at in your journey as far as a soul aspect coming forward for this star family. The many different lineages that are here as well. Aurora mentioned Mintaka, which is, a lot of us have a connection to Mintaka, but there are also other planets and lineages that are part of Orion. Being shown like a lot of different colors, different kind of like technology or tech as well. Yeah, some kind of huge prismatic portal. It's massive. And they were showing me you can like fly a dragon into it and just like teleport, I guess, in a way. But, you know, like a portal, essentially. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's how you guys get to places really, really fast.
Yeah, I can work with all the Stargate. So I just open Stargate and connect to different part of the galaxy and the lineage of the galaxy.
Yeah, is there anything else that's coming through for anybody while we're here? That needs to be seen or witnessed or brought forward? Some kind of exchange too. I was just being shown. I guess mission logs, that's what we call it. Updating those mission logs, sending them back. To be, yeah, Seth and Dave can bring forward what's needed when it comes to the mission logs that they're sharing with us as well. Anybody else have anything for us while we're here? Oh, okay, but you can feel the sounds. Okay. Sound waves, sound healing, something like that. Sound waves and sound healing. Well, asking that comes forward in the most aligned way for Christina too. Sound waves, sound healing, harmonics. Well, if we feel like we're complete, which it seems like we are, feel free to make your way back to the sun's radiance room. You can take the dragon, the portal, or just recall yourself back there. Huh, that's interesting. Harmonics, resonance, reverb, that trio's encircling around. Okay. I recalled myself back to the sun's radiance room. I was like, oh, there's others here that are with us. So shout out to them that are weaving and gridding with us as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They must have heard the call and tapped in. Yeah, just thanking our guides, our soul aspects, the dragons, the Orion Council, all of our friends and helpers. Witnessing all that was released, all of that energy, frequency, vibration, the many different timelines, sending anything that isn't ours back into the 0 point to be alchemized and transmuted. Your energy is yours, my energy is mine. Feel free to set things up however you need them in your sun's radiance room, in your area, back wherever you're located at. tidying up anything that needs to be tidied up energetically. Asking that Seth and Dave update the mission logs that we received, our personal record keepers, update our records, Akashic, unified Akashic keepers to update the Akash as well. If there are any contracts that need to be updated regarding what we had just cleared, regarding known or unknown, feel free to tap in and pull those contracts up, pull them forward, ask your higher self to assist or your guides to assist, updating any of the contracts, nullifying or rewriting, renewing, clearing, anything that's pertinent for you, known or unknown, and then having the Akash keepers update that as well. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to hear if you guys had anything that came through. Anything you want to chat about here?
Sure.
Wowza.
Yeah, I was so right now I'm like in the middle of finishing some giant conference room tables for Microsoft. So I'm like, I felt like I just infused all those codes right into that, like as Microsoft as a corporation who is something that's very Orion in our atmosphere. I'm just like infusing that, and they want these tables to be black, but like they have a shiny tint to them, and like I'm infusing my these codes into these tables as we go, like filling it with love instead of greed.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool, man. Thank you for doing that work. It's cool. I like that. Large conference tables. That's kind of what I picture too when I call my council in as well. Like sitting around a futuristic version of a conference table. You know what I mean? At least that's the way I picture it. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, if you have something that comes through, feel free to let us know. Type it into the comments below or drop it into the Telegram regarding any of these topics.
Yeah, the Orion has those sound healing chamber too. And they have the mycelium network is also from Orion.
Nice. Yeah, the quantum mycelium network too. Shout out to all of the myceliums, the many different versions of them, including mushies. We love a good mycelium. Co-creation frequency. So yeah, that was definitely interesting. Yeah, I just want to say super grateful for every single person here that co-created with us today. Thank you for your time, your energy, your focus, your weaving. All those who are weaving with us on the playback, super, super grateful for you as well. Taking your time to watch the playback, and if you made it to the end, that's cool. If not, that's okay as well too, and we'll get to see you guys, weave with you in the field. And today is the Scorpio New Moon, so we're heading into the weekend, and at least some of us will be on our weekend this weekend. So yeah, looking forward to weaving with you very soon. And we'll see you in the Telegram for further weaving, or in the comments. Always open to chatting, co-creating. If anything stepped forward for you and you feel like it's something that you want to chat about or you want to get clarity on, feel free to hit any of us up. I'm always available too to assist and chat with, and I'm sure if you message any one of us that we would respond. So enjoy the rest of your Scorpio New Moon, and you guys have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, we'll see you soon. Ciao, ciao. Bye.